Should I stop hoarding random things to make into questionable art? Yeah, probably, but not today because I'm going to do another compact. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. In my last video, I had difficulty with this label and everybody said to use acid tone. Acid tone? I don't know, whatever it's called, but it really did work. Sort of. I mean, I guess I can still kind of see it, but that's okay. It's nothing that sandpaper can't fix. But I know what you're saying. You're saying, oh no, now we can't see through the compact and we're going to need to be able to see through it because we're going to be putting art and junk in there or something. Well, you just don't worry your biscuits about it because I'm going to cover it in this resin and the resin gets into all the little cracks. I don't know what you would call the little, rough patches. Yeah, and it makes it clear. And yes, I should be wearing gloves, but don't worry, I'm being very careful. Dang, bubble. Bloop. And then we just harden it with our little light doohickeys. And look at that, it's nice and clear-ish. You know what, it's clear enough, but this is too shiny. So I dirty it up with some browns. And because I don't have time to wait for paint to dry, I use my heat gun to dry it. Okay, now to add the questionable art. Luckily, I have 2 boxes of questionable art right here. What makes them questionable? We don't know where this meat came from. It's a mystery. In fact, you could call it mystery meat, but I'm sure it's not human. I don't know. Don't look too hard. There might be a few fingers and a heart and a tongue, but who can say? I don't know. It could be beef. I'm sure beef has fingers. Anyways, moving on. Next we squish our balls together because we need something to capture our mystery meat inside of our container. I mean, you can't just have loose mystery meat running around. That's how you get the cops called on you. And we can't have that. Oh, and look at that. All of our mystery meat is contained inside of our compact for the most part. I don't know why I'm shaking it so vigorously, but there it is. Now let's just paint the rest with a snap. Ready for a jump scare? Oh, there I am. Hi. Anyways, so I was gonna make, bam, this wooden floor because I was thinking maybe it's like hidden organs underneath the floor. You know, sort of like The Tall Tale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, which side note is why I named my cat Edgar. I mean, because of Poe, not the story. I felt like I've done that story before. In fact, I know I've done that story before. And it may have involved a circle window salesman. So I decided not to do that story. And instead, I'm going to do some sort of cooler story. Well, okay, maybe not cooler, but definitely different, a different story. So then I was like, what if I did a cute little creature with really big eyes that also may or may not glow in the dark? And I thought the best way to make really big eyes was with some resin. And again, if you're doing this, you should be wearing gloves. Don't be like me, even though I'm being very careful. Plop. And look at that. We have little eyes. Or I mean, big eyes. Now we just need to make the little body that goes with the big eyes. See, I'm shaping the little body right now. I think I'll name him Willy. Willy with the really big eyeballs. And we don't need to read into that at all. And I just added Willy's eyes and smoothing out his little tum-tum. Okay, Willy needs some really big teeth. Luckily, I have a jar of really big teeth right here. Well, okay. I guess they're normal sized teeth, but compared to Willy, they're really big. Ready? 1 toothus for Willy and 2 toothuses for Willy. Willy's only allowed to have 2 teeth because that makes him really, really cute. Anyways, maybe I should come up with a story. A story with little Willy here. Okay, let me think. Okay, I got it. So this family moves into this old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere when some weird stuff starts happening. I mean, if Hollywood's taught me anything, it's that when a family moves into an old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, they either have a dog named Courage or some weird stuff's about to go down. And this family doesn't have a dog named Courage. Anyways, so they move into the middle of nowhere because their father is really cruel and he hates his kids. And the mother wanted a fresh start, whatever that means. Seems kind of dumb. She moves them out in the middle of nowhere with their abusive father. But whatever, that doesn't matter. What does matter is little Sally and the pork chop that she left on the floor, you know, as kids do. And her father was about to get really upset about it when the pork chop just poof disappeared. And you know, Sally was kind of confused. She's like, I should have gotten in trouble for that pork chop. And she did. She got sent to her room. So in her room, she like started leaving other food on the floor to test it out. And it too disappeared. Soon, Sally was leaving whole turkey sandwiches on the floor. And Sally's mom was like, whoa, must be a growth spurt because, you know, kids do that. Anyway, one day, Sally's dad got really angry at her for, I don't know, giggling too loud, something stupid. And he threw her into the closet and locked the door. And that's when Sally whispered that she wished her father would leave. Oh, hey, Emily. Well, if you haven't worked it out yet, it was Willy that was underneath the floor eating all the food. And like any animal, once you feed it, it's yours. Hold on, look at Willy's butt. Oh, it's so cute. Anywho, so he took care of Sally's dad. You know, the not so nice way, if you know what I mean. Oh, look, there's some of Sally's dad now. So Sally's family just thought that her dad ran off because I guess that's what he did sometimes. But Sally knew it was Willie. And she became really good friends with him. Soon, if anybody crossed Sally the wrong way, Willie took care of them. He was happy for a free meal. Perhaps it was a happy meal? A human happy meal of death, that is. Anyways, so the whole family lived happily ever after. The end. Who says I only do scary and depressing stories? That one had a good ending. Sort of. And what's that? Ashley has pretty sparkly nails? That's so unlike me. Okay, my daughter painted them. Oh, and look at Willie's little butt in the mirror. Isn't he adorable? I guess the last thing we need to add are feet to Willie's little floorboard. And this is how level my desk is. Watch. Yes, it is super annoying and gets in the way, but it's not annoying enough to fix because I am lazy. And with that, we're done. What do you guys think? I still have a whole bunch of these compacts, so what else should I do? Also, in case you're curious, I have a creepy crafts book in case you want to make your own creepy crafts. The link is down below or in my bio or wherever. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye! Whee! So because I suck at measuring, I ended up with an extra one of these. And what is this? It's a circle window for my ceiling, sort of. It goes around light fixtures when you accidentally make the hole too big. Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing either. But when I was replacing a boob light with a more modern boob light, I was like, dang, that's a big hole. And somebody said, cover it with a hole bib. Okay, maybe not those words exactly, but I don't know what they're called. Anyways, I guess you're supposed to like measure them or something. And that's how I ended up with 2. But it's okay because I'll make it into art like I do. So if you were watching, I made it into a circle window. And then I remembered that I have dome circle windows. And I was like, whoa, I should definitely use that one instead. I mean, it just fits so perfectly that I couldn't not use it. Look at that perfect fit. It's perfect. Now, what are we going to put in our circle window, though? Ooh, wait, listen. Oh yeah, I love that sound. I don't know why. Anyways, let's just say at this point, I have no idea what I'm doing because I started off with brown and then I was like, that's ugly. So then I thought maybe I should just go crazy on it. And what is my idea of crazy? Eyeballs. But I don't want normal, ordinary eyeballs. Gross. God. I want fungus eyeballs, which means they gotta stick out of the canvas like fungus eyeballs do. Have you not seen fungus eyeballs? Is that not a thing? I feel like I've seen fungus eyeballs before, but hold on to your butts, everybody, because here comes the third eyeball. What? You're getting too crazy, Ashley. 3 is too many eyeballs for one circle window to have. And you know what I have to say about that? Who says that 3 is too many? In fact, what if I just put eyeballs all over this thing? What would you say about that? Would you then call me Ashley the Eyeball Queen? Well, get your Eyeball Queen labels ready because I'm gonna add more eyes. Hold on. Oh wait, I forgot I paint it first. Oops, I guess I gave a spoiler away. The spoiler was more eyes. And holy cow, look at all that paint. What am I doing? Why do I just keep adding more paint? Oh, and what am I doing now? Just adding fur. Well, I did warn you this is gonna be a weird one. I think I warned you. If I didn't, consider this your warning. Look at our little hairy monster. You know, I gotta say, it's kind of cute. Now, because you know me, I gotta add some lights. But first I gotta test the hole punch. Yep, it's very punchy. And there's one hole in which I can string my lights through. So this part's really boring, so I'll just skip forward to the good part where it's all lit up. Ooh. And the best part is it changes colors. Whoa, no way. Okay, but we can't have dry eyes. That would hurt. So we gotta make them ooey and gooey. And how do we make them ooey gooey? With ooey gooey resin. And then here it comes. Remember when I said I'd add more eyes? Here it is. More eyes. Maybe if I just type up my own artwork, you guys will like think it's good. I mean, this is totally not a piece of artwork that I don't like. In fact, this is my favorite piece of artwork. Look how awesome it is with more ooey gooey eyeballs. Ooey gooey. Next, I get my glowing glue out and add a whole bunch of gooey glowing glue spots because it's a fungus and a fungus is going to have spots, I've decided. Okay, so I'm gonna do the circle window part now and I screwed it up. I had a whole bunch of of colors and it's way too much going on. So instead I paint it black. You can't go wrong with black. It literally matches everything, but now it's a little too boring. So what am I doing? I'm adding more fungus. Only this is more traditional fungus, aka mushrooms. Anybody remember when I went through that mushroom phase? That was like 3 years ago or something. Whoa, time flies. Well, I guess I'm bringing it back because look at my fungus ring. Ew, that sounds really gross. Now I'm just painting my fungus ring, but hold on, it'll look cool, I promise. See, now I'm just rubbing it all down with gold. I mean, look how satisfying this is. Woo! And we've goldified our fungus ring. Let's check it with our fungus eyeballs. Oh yeah, it's starting to look fungusy. Kind of. I mean, if I say it, it's true, right? However, the light spillage from these edges are a little too much for my liking, so I'm gonna cover them up, but in a cool way. If I say it's cool, then you must believe it. Because look at this cool wood. Shasha! It must be cool because I wouldn't use lame wood. Okay, now that I got my scraps of wood, just pretend that you saw me put it around this frame because I forgot to film. And there you go. There's a pattern on the wall. Is that what we wanted? Maybe. It's what we got. Ah, but here comes the best part. The dome circle window. How cool is that? Just about as cool as these edges. I can't even say that with a straight face. Look at this lame. How could I be so lame? All right, I'll de-lamify it. Just watch. And look, I'm using gloves for my resin. I told you I use gloves. Everybody's always up in my comment section saying, why aren't you using gloves, Ashley? And I'm like, I do. You just don't see me do it. Because fun fact, I'm actually allergic to resin. So if I didn't, I'd be in a lot of pain, okay? Hey, Agatha. Okay, let's pop open these molds, which is the most satisfying part. Ooh, look at that. Ready? Push it out. Oh, ah, yeah. Get out of there. Okay, maybe just a few more because it's really satisfying. And not enough people show the end result of resin. I mean, how frustrating are those videos where you get the buildup, but you don't get the climax of pulling the resin out of the mold? I freaking hate those videos. And hold on, wait a second. That's not a crystal. Whoops. You know what? All the molds look the same on the outside. Oh, and guess what? They glow in the dark. All right, now to de-lamify this frame in the only way that I know how, by adding crystals. And if your name is Crystal, hi Crystal. Did you know that you were used to de-lamify things? Anyways, this is not as satisfying, so let me skip to the good part. Shasha, look at that. Oh yeah, that's already looking so much better because look at it. Look at it in the dark. What? See, I gotta hype it up. That way you think it's hyped up and it looks cool. Is it working? Because now I'm adding moss. I can't stop. I just keep adding things. In fact, I've added so many things I can't tell if it's cool anymore. Is this cool? I don't know. Probably not. Okay, I think you get it. I added a whole bunch of moss. Let's just see the finished product. Wow, that's a lot of colors. It's like a pastel rainbow puked all over it. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I do have to say it's a thing. And now I can say I've done a thing. And it's art of some sort. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask your opinion because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life right now. It's awesome, and that's what I'm going with. Awesome sauce, and you're just jealous of my thing. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. You want to see me make something out of trash again? Because trash is my favorite medium, apparently. But first, I gotta squish my balls together to mix my clay, silly. And what are we making today? Ooh, hold on, I gotta squish my little balls together. Well, let me tell you this, it's definitely not going to be octopus themed. Yes, it is! I just have to get the right color of clay. And that's why I'm adding this yellow to make it look sickly greenish. And I know I said it's not gonna be octopus themed, and that's technically true. It's just some sort of sea creature monster themed. I mean, imagine opening a can of tuna and this thing is staring back at you. Not that it has eyes, but it's still a terrifying thought. Am I gonna have to start shaking cans to make sure that there's no octopuses in it? Sorry, not octopus, sea creature. I mean, other than the sea creatures that are supposed to be in the can. Anyways, so I'm just putting tentacles around the outside, and then I'm gonna fill my can with a liquid because we can't have our can monster living in a dry can. She'll get all dried out and depressed. And trust me, we want a happy can monster. Or maybe she's a can kraken. A cute can kraken. Oh, so look, I'm gonna make this tentacle sticking straight up, so it's like coming out of the liquid. And what if that liquid glows in the dark? Whoa, that's super cool, Ashley. Although now that I'm thinking about it, no canned food glows in the dark that I know of. So is our canned kraken secreting glow-in-the-dark fluids? Ew, gross. Although it's not like we're gonna be eating it anyway. Speaking of gross, look at this gross little bug that got into my fluid. Friggin' fruit flies, they're everywhere right now. But it's okay because we're gonna sand his little fruit fly butt out, and then I'll cover it in more fluids, and we'll never know that he was even there. And even if you do know, maybe you'll just add to the art. Oh, so because we want our can kraken to have privacy while she secretes her glow-in-the-dark fluid, we gotta add her little lid. And look, she's opening the door like, can I help you? No, I don't want any more Girl Scout cookies. It makes me secrete glow-in-the-dark fluid. Anyways, so this can is looking a little too shiny. And I just noticed it's mermaid approved. I had no idea mermaids worked at the canned kraken factory. Did you? Huh. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The can's too shiny, so I sanded it and added this paint to make it look dirty and rusty. I know it doesn't look rusty right now, but just wait. Once I add the patina, it will. But in between coats, I have to add more fluids. This time I'm opting for a more clear fluid because it'll make it look like the thicker fluids are settling at the bottom. Even though our little baby kraken probably would stir up those fluids, but don't think about that. Oh look, it looks like I already added the patina because it's starting to look rusty. Shwabam. It takes a while for the rust to form. So while we wait, let's make a base for our kraken. But it would be boring if it just sat flat on the base. And we don't do boring, we do super cool, awesome things sometimes. So I made this wedge to wedgie our can up. See, now our can has been wedgied. Although right now it just looks like a piece of gum is stuck to the bottom of our can. So we're gonna have to cover up our wedgie. Initially, I was gonna go with mushrooms because, you know, I love mushrooms. But then I got to thinking, this is more ocean-y. I mean, it is a baby kraken after all. So I went with mossy growth because that's what's gonna make our baby kraken happy. And we want a happy baby kraken, remember? Because otherwise, mama kraken's gotta come in when baby kraken starts crying. And really, you don't want mama kraken angry. Especially if you interrupt her during hot yoga. I mean, look at how many tentacles she probably has. She could slap up to 8 people at once, which only makes me slightly jealous. Anywho, look at that, we're done. What do you guys think of my baby kraken in a can? Ooh, and look at it glow in the dark. Anyways, thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow. Okay, bye.